Yeah, let's just send it. Let's do some polls, right? Add a marker there. Let me get these new tabs off of here. How's it going, Nathaniel? Oh, we got this crap to get out of here too. Get that. Alright, thanks for getting the bad luck out of the way for me, Menno. Appreciate you. Okay, okay. So it doesn't really matter. It would be cool to get more than one. I saw some screenshots of people getting all three in their free 10 pull. That would be really nice. And then after that, we'll do the 5 character stories, I guess, which is a little bit of a bummer, but whatever. Hey, Sonny. And Connie, alright, we're doing octuplets here. Jordan, what are you doing? You're not an octuplet. Get out. She wishes she was an octuplet. So to see. There we go. There we go. 3 octuplets. Alright, awakening shards. Let's go. We'll take them. Swear to God, I pulled so many elfin dupes on this account. Okay, we're getting at least a triple pull here. If I remember right, I think Curse Jazz is also trade-in. Not a good A4. That's gonna be Celis. That's way too old of a voice to be Realm. Alright. It would, you know, it would be cool. It would be really cool if I pulled them in the correct order, right? Because for anybody who has not played Final Fantasy VI, the characters were released in groupings such that you could actually pull all 6 of them in the same order that you meet them in Final Fantasy VI. In Final Fantasy VI, the order that you meet these 6 characters is Terra, obviously, because Terra is the one that starts the game. She's the one in the intro as she, Biggs, and Wedge is walking across the frozen tundra towards Narsh. And then shortly after that, when the folks of Narsh are chasing her and stuff, Locke comes to rescue her. So Locke comes in second, and then those two travel to Figaro to get help from the returners, and Edgar is the next one we meet. And so that's all 3 of the first half, right? And then in the second half of the game, we actually switch who the main character is from Terra over to Celis, and we start the second half of the game as Celis. So she fits perfectly as the 4th character and the one I pulled here. And after Celis, we actually run into Sabin first, but after Sabin, these two run into Setzer, is the 3rd one in the World of Ruin, and then anytime after that you can go and grab Realm, because after you run into Setzer again, you get your airship back, you get the Falcon, and you can oh my God, I can't believe I set myself up for it, but you can go searching for friends, boom, which is actually the soundtrack title for the for the song that plays when you're flying around in the Falcon searching for your friends. So okay, this is Celis, a visitor from another tale, a Magitech knight. I think the K should be capitalized there, but that's okay. This I don't know how or why they still are doing this to us. We keep telling them to stop doing this, and it drives all of us crazy, where we get black text on top of other dark colors, and it's like really hard to see, and there's like no drop shadow or something to make it so you can still read it. I mean, I don't know. They probably should have cut the text. Actually, from a graphic design standpoint, see how the left alignment is the second dot in this image? That should be the same case over here. So like this should cut off, and tempered should be the last word on the first line. And then in battle should go down there, and then probably, I don't know, anywhere from after beneath or after woman should be on the 3rd line probably. But anyways, I digress. The Empire, forged by the Empire and tempered in battle, none have ever truly known the woman beneath the general's guise. She defected and is now a member of the insurgent group, the Returners. Okay. Give me a second here because we've got some stuff to look at really quick here. Oops, wrong button on the wrong thing. I think maybe I should just keep this on and we'll just deal with the border for a second here because we're going to be looking at bouncing around an awful lot. Okay. Agitech. Many. I'm checking this because it doesn't look like they did what they were supposed to. It looks like, oh nope. Yeah, see, is this the wrong one? This might be the wrong version. Let's see, PlayStation. Yeah, this is the wrong version. Here we go. This is what we. Let's see. Black scenario. We're looking to make sure that they followed directions. That NetEase followed directions and got the information that we're looking at on the screen correct. Here, basically. So what we're looking for is when Locke meets Celis, for the first time, and she's introduced to us now. Yes, even here, this is the Super Nintendo version. Maybe I need to look for the Pixel Remaster version script, maybe, right? Pixel Remaster script. Is that the same as this one? I don't know. This is a different one too. No, that's what we are just looking at. Now I do know that I did take pictures of this stuff on PlayStation when we played through the game, but I don't know if there's actually. With Setzer, there's something wrong with his text too. Well, yeah, I'm a little. I really wish I could find the Pixel Remaster text because I think. See, the other thing though is to. I'm pretty sure when I was working on this, I was using this script, so it should be. They use the word snow, product of. This is what we're looking at right here. Sorry, let me make it bigger. We're looking at this text right here. This is where you recruit Celis and you name her when she first joins the party. Battle hardened magic knight with a spirit as pure as snow. Now there also is a possibility that I might have taken these from like here. This might be where it. Yeah, here. This is okay. So this. Oh no, and it's lowercase here. Oh no. I'm gonna have to double check this later because this looks like this was actually my mistake then for not capitalizing the K in night. I think the K in Knight is supposed to be capitalized. And you know, it's cited as the game description, so we looked at a couple different scripts here already, right? And this is the let's see, this is the PlayStation script. So that's definitely not probably what we would want, but this is, I think this also gave us the same text, right? Which was different than what I saw over there. So I might have used maybe not the best source. I'm not fully sure, but where did it go? Where was it? Right here. And that's obviously not quite the same as what we've got here. And you know, I honestly, I probably should have looked at I should have downloaded the images from my PlayStation onto my phone and looked at them to double check them to make sure that they were the newest. They had the most recent version as their source, but it's okay. It's as long as it's like what we're looking for, that's fine. Okay. So this is good, right? That's good. Yes. Ultros is indeed the octopus's name. And Ultros is like one of the best villains in video game history. I will I will fight anybody who disagrees. He's incredible comic relief, and the comic relief he has is just really, really funny too. Okay. Who do I have guiding? Who do I have greeting everybody? Is Fred still my... Oh no, Tara! Okay, this is actually pretty legit. I used to be General Celis. Now I'm just a common trader. You want to live in this world as it is? No? Then do something about it. Okay, so this stuff was really fun and to work on, right? And what was the text? Let's see. Do something. Right here. Look. You want to live in this world as it is? No? Then do something about it. Yeah, that's the kind of attention to detail that I work with over here. We don't mess around anymore with the localization. We do not mess around at all. That is letter for letter verbatim a direct quote from the game. I don't know if I got it. I'll get it again either way. When we stand together as one, we can carve a path forward. We need to find everyone. I think that was kind of, I don't think that was a direct quote, but it's kind of similar. Okay. Let me go back to what Wiz said, because Wiz said there was potentially something wrong with his A4. Yeah, the text is not consistent, right? Like, it should either be traveler capitalized here, or it should be equipping characters here instead. They should be the same in both spots. Yeah, so it's it looks like it's giving the 2 turns of 1 additional BP to both the breaking ally plus the character using the A4. Yeah, actually, I don't. The way this is worded, it almost makes it look like it's giving the breaker 1 BP recovery, and it's giving the person wearing the A4 1 BP from up here and 1 BP from down here, so actually 2 BP recovery. I assume Traveler means equipping characters as well. I don't think there's probably any other way to think of that, but it's very messy, considering there should be the same text in this space as there is here, whether it's the word Traveler here and it's up here too, or whether it's equipping characters here and down here. I think that those 2 pieces should be, those 2 blank spaces should have the same thing filling both of them, because I think the intention was both of them being the same thing. No, Blackjack. Blackjack, Nathaniel. It's one of the airships in Final Fantasy VI. And I named it this as an Easter egg because if you go to the auction house in Jadur, I believe. Is it Jadur? I think it's Jadur. Whoops. Auction house. Well played, Stan. Okay, so if you go to the auction house in Jadur, actually, I guess I could have just showed that on the screen. You can actually get stuff. Well, what's one of the things you can get? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, that's how the text they have in here. Well, this isn't the same. In the Pixel remaster, it's just called Mini Airship, okay? And so that was what I was going for there, because like Setzer, you could either use Blackjack or Falcon, and so I went with Blackjack because that was his ship, right? Whereas Falcon was originally Daryl's ship, his friend, who I didn't actually connect the dots and put 2 and 2 together here until I was working on the localization for this and working on his specifically, because I had completely forgot that Leon, you know, from Tress's story in Octopath 1, I completely forgot that he had raced, what was his name? It starts with a B. It was like Bartholomew or something like that. He had a friend who he raced at sea, and his friend died, right? And they made a bet about giving each other their most prized possession for whoever won, right? And that was in Octopath 1, and I guess I just forgot that he'd told us about that. Leon Bastrel had told us about that. Well, that's directly ripped from Final Fantasy VI, because the exact same thing happened in this game from 1994. Setzer and his really good friend, his best friend, Daryl, were racing their airships, and apparently usually when they race their airships, they end up going out and flying around and stuff, and they end up coming back and meeting at some hill or whatever after they're done racing, after they're done flying and stuff. And it was just another day, and they went racing, and Daryl, she was like, I'm gonna break all the records. I'm gonna fly like higher than anyone's ever flown before. I'm gonna like fly close to the sun or whatever. And then she never came back. She never showed up. And so in the second part of Final Fantasy VI, we go when we meet up with Setzer, with Celis and Sabin, he's basically given up, right? Because it was like basically the end of the world, and he doesn't have his airship, the Blackjack, anymore because it got destroyed at the end of the first half of the game, and like Celis and Sabin talk him into like fighting to save the world and stuff, basically. And so he's like, light bulb, I know where another airship we can get is. So off the party treks to Daryl's tomb, his friend. He ended up burying his friend, making a tomb for her, and fixing up and refurbishing her airship, the one that she crashed, the Falcon, and that's what you end up using as an airship for transportation in the second half of the game. No, Realm is she's just a kid. She's 10. I think if I remember right, I think she's either 10 or 12 years old. She's pretty funny though, to be honest. I'm looking forward to using her. I just wish I knew Japanese, because I bet her in-battle callouts are going to be really funny. Okay, all right. sorry, ADHD stuff. Let's keep going, right? Because we've still got to get, who did we get? We got so we've still got to get Setzer, and we've got to get Realm. So let's send it. Let's go. Yeah, but the thing is, she's a kid, but she's a descendant of people who have the ability to use magic. And so she's one of the best magic users in the game. Oh, here we go. There we go. We got 2 out of 3 now. welcome, Setzer again. All right. Let's fact check this too, right? Oh boy. Is there any way to go up really quickly? No, I guess we just spam click. Okay, now it looks like I might have dropped the ball a little bit. It might just be that I liked the definitions they had in here more, but a gambling vagabond who finds freedom from society's narrow views of morality aboard his airship, the Blackjack. Having lost his will to live, he joined the returners to help them take back their world from Kefka. Okay. From Kefka. That was probably just text I added, the second part. I don't know. I don't remember. But okay, so yeah, a gambling vagabond who finds freedom from society's narrow views of morality aboard his airship, the Blackjack, which is what we're looking at right here. Having lost his will to live, he joined the returners to help them take back their world from Kefka. Yeah. This looks like it might be, colors wise, this might be Celis right here. Potentially. Okay, so he wasn't. Let's see. Come on, now we need Realm to show up, right? So I'm guessing Realm is Fame then, right? Or whatever the Celestia right one is, right? Okay, so that's really good. Setzer's a big deal. I'm really looking forward to Setzer. Setzer's gonna be joining the team. He's gonna be bumping Mulruso X out for me on this team. Oh shoot, I should have switched over to having Celis as the welcomer. I'm Setzer, Blackjack playing world traveling casino dwelling free spirit. Yeah, you are. And I think that's like copy and paste from the script too, right? Oh, I think this is where I think this was actually where I cooked, right? Because I think I used the description from the wiki for his like splash intro art when you first pull him, and then I think I used his intro from the actual game here for this. Maybe a blackjack playing world traveling casino dwelling free spirit. I probably should have done that with all of them, but it looked like I didn't think of that until him. Maybe I can't remember, but okay, so that's good. I think I'm gonna have a lot of duplicates to delete here because I can't remember. Gambling against the Empire with nothing to lose but my life. I haven't felt so excited in years. Excited. Felt. Where did we get this one from? I swear this is something he said in the game. Gambling? Really? No, there's no way. Maybe, yeah, you know what? See, I don't think this is the script that I used. I think I used this one. No? Dude, where did I get this from? Oh my gosh. Now it's gotta be, let's see, the floating cat's still the first half of the game. Okay, so we need to get down to here. Right here. Fork did I get this info? Maybe I got it in here. See, this must be from a different version of the game, right? Yeah, so this is a direct quote from one version of the game. The problem is, I think I was a little bit inconsistent about which versions of the game I was pulling from. I guess I just pulled from whatever I could find and used whatever sounded the best. Gambling against the Empire with nothing to lose but my life. I haven't felt so excited in years. Alright, I'll help you. Nothing to lose but my life. My life is a chip in your pile, ante up. Now this is what he says. This I know for sure. This is what he says when he first joins your party. Control F on ante, right? Are you? No way, you can't even. Yeah, see, ante, how did I not get that on Control F? My life is a chip in your pile, ante up. Oh, actually, I just copied and pasted right from here, didn't I? Alright, I'll help you. Nothing to lose but my life, ... Life is a chip in your pile, ante up. Yep, okay. Okay, so we still need realm. Let's go. You got the game wrong there, Nathaniel. You got the game number wrong. All right, so we need our young magi, descendant of the magi from Thamasa here. Over here. I don't want any. Well, actually, hold on. Maybe. I don't remember. His ult. Is his ult part like important to how he plays? Not especially. The problem is his X is the one that's really big, right? Weakness freeze. I mean, maybe for like breaking purposes, I don't know. I mean, the one thing I will say is that him being paired with Lynette X, I mean, I guess he may as well ult, right? You know, he may as well use his ult to attack sometimes, right? Because he only has 3 uses of this, and with the fact that you can give seven turns of it, this is going to be really low maintenance to keep active, right? Also, by the way, this is the wrong name. I cleaned up the names of a lot of the characters' skills too, because like this is wrong. I think this was wrong. 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 All of his slot skills had the wrong name. They had like, I don't know, someone who hasn't played the game's interpretation of like localizing the skills or whatever. It's like, so this is not Dragon, this is Bahamut. Bahamut. You summon Bahamut and he does Mega Flare. This is you summoning an airship, but it casts can't remember off the top of my head. This is Chocobo Stampede, not just Chocobo. This is what did they rename it in the Pixel remaster? Maybe like Prismatic Flash or something. And then this is actually the right name, but it should have slot in front of it, right? Because that's the actual name of what gets, because he's really interesting, right? He's all about like gambling themes, so like cards and dice and stuff. And so in Final Fantasy VI, his unique skill is slots. Actually, I think it's just slot, but you roll 3 slots, right? And depending on what combination you get, like I'll show you visually. It'll make more sense then, I think. What here? Slot. Okay, this is a good visual representation. So you roll these three slots, right? And if you get, this is the chocobo, so if you get 3 chocobos, he'll do summon Chocobo Stampede, and a whole wave of chocobos will run across the screen from, I think, if I remember right to left and stampede over the enemies. That would make more sense. It would look kind of funny if they came left or right and they trampled over the enemies plus your party. Well, I guess if they're going right to left, they're still trampling your party, whatever. This is the airship that does. We can probably see what it's called here. Right, if we go in here, we can see. So Mysidian Rabbit there, Prismatic Flash. I think, was that what I said? This is actually a really cool looking skill. It's like lines of light come up around like and through the enemies, and it's actually really strong. It's kind of funny, right? Because he uses dice and he uses darts and he uses cards for his weapons in Final Fantasy VI. But like most of his slot skills are all magic based. They're not physical based. So like this one, Mysidian Rabbit, it doesn't do it. It heals for like 15 health. It's basically just it's you failed, right? Any losing combo. So it doesn't really do anything, but like this is magic. Prismatic Flash is magic. Chocobo Stampede is interestingly also magic. Look at that. Dive bomb, that's what the airship one is called. And then the dragon one. The one that our trusty website has as slot airship. That is actually Mega Flare. That's actually Bahamut summoning Bahamut and doing Mega Flare. This is the animation. It looks very nice. It looks very nice. Then we've got Summon. I don't think we have this in COTC. It makes sense because in Final Fantasy VI we have, oh gosh, I'm gonna absolutely butcher the game here. I'm gonna guess we have like 38 espers, maybe. How many espers? Oh man, I got part of it right. Let's see. Oh, and I was thinking of the wrong version too. Oh, okay. So there's only 24. But basically, when he gets this one, when he gets triple bar, he randomly summons almost any of the espers in the game. And so that would have been way too much coding and way too many animations for them to put in COTC. He's also got 2 Joker's deaths. One where he kills everything in the battle, including his allies, and the better one where he just kills all the enemies. But these are like incredibly rare, and I don't know if you guys remember when I was streaming. I think did I stream this early last year, I think too, to just fill some time. I was trying to get the PlayStation trophy for getting Joker's death, right? For getting Joker's death, Joker's Doom, whatever you want to call it. I think when I think about it, I think of Joker Doom, because I played the original version back when I was a kid. But yeah, I kept getting this one, and we just kept dying, and sometimes I wasn't paying attention, because like I'd be doing like COTC dailies or something, and then I'd go from looking at my phone to back to looking at the screen, and it's like, oh, we've got a game over screen. Thanks, Setzer. Good job, buddy. But yeah, okay. So I think I'll probably throw it at his ult. I'm gonna skip to whatever. It's fine. We've got a lot to get done. Okay, so we got a Setzer dupe, whatever, it's fine. We still need to Miss Realm though. But that's all we need, which is nice. That part's nice. Yeah, like I said, we're just gonna, I know we haven't historically all right, prom dupe. I know historically on this account we haven't skipped summoning animations, but we've got so much to get done today, and it's already like 6:30 p.m. my time, so I think we've got to like trim some of the animation fat here, so to speak. He implants weaknesses from his passives, and he can freeze the weaknesses he's implanted with his X skill. And the fun part is that his X skill also has priority, so it goes very fast. So like, for instance, if you pair him with Lynette X, like Wiz and I have been talking about for like a couple weeks now, at least. Probably more than that, probably more like a couple months. If you pair Setzer with Lynette X can use her, I guess it must be her ult, right? Yeah, she has to backcast her ult, and then you use Setzer's X, and Lynette will implant all 6 weaknesses, and then Setzer will lock them. And then it's just like, profit, baby. Just profit. Just have a good time. Just go crazy for 6 turns. Just have a good time. such a dirty good combination synergy there that those two have. I can't wait to use them together. It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, come on, Realm, where are you? She's being a silly little jerk of a kid here. Here we go, right here. Let's go. Alright, a young girl of Magi descent. Remember what I said? I said that before too. In her pictures, she captures everything. Forests, water, light. the very essence of the things she paints. Okay, now I will say I fact checked this. Someone else did this and they got it right. So that's good. 2 thumbs up for my fellow volunteer, right? Because they did their due diligence too, and this is actually source accurate as well. Okay, very cool, very cool. I think, and this is Ultros here too. Actually, before we go any further, let me show you guys a little bit of Ultros, because Ultros and Realm have a very fun like relationship. So we first meet Ultros early on in the game, in the first part of the game, where the party makes it to the Returners hideout and meets with the Returners leader Bannon, right? But then they end up figuring out, because they're fighting against this evil empire, right? Who's trying to use magic to take over and control the world and everything. And they come to the conclusion that the best course of action is if everybody splits up. And so this is a fairly unique JRPG mechanic that I'm not sure. I feel like I've seen it in another recent-ish game. I can't remember. It might have been Chained Echoes, where we split, where our party split up, and then after. Sorry, hold on. We're having monitor issues here with the monitor that still needs to be replaced and is flickering. But we get to this point, and you have the choice to choose between 3 different scenarios that you can play in any order. You can go left, middle, right. You can go middle, left, right. You can go middle, right, left. You can go left, middle. I think I already said that. You can go left, right, middle. You can go right, left, middle. You can go right, middle, left. So you have your choices on how you want to go. There's one where Locke sneaks back into South Figaro, and that's where he meets Celis and rescues her. You can take Terra and Edgar and the Returner leader Bannon. And you can head for Narsh, and that one's really short, as you can see. It's literally like 1 screen of content, right? Like if I hit F11, it's literally this. This is Terra, Edgar, and Bannon's scenario. It's pretty quick. And then we've got Sabin, who, if we go back up before we split up, the reason we split up is because we used a raft and we hopped into the Latay River to make our way. I think it was back to Narsh, right? And Ultros ambushes us, and we have the hardest boss fight in the game thus far. And at the end of it, he ends up going splooch back into the river. And what happens? Edgar's twin brother, Sabin, decides it's a good idea to follow him, and he just jumps into the river and chases after Ultros. JRPGs for you, folks. Yep. So Sabin ends up washing up on the shore somewhere. He runs into my favorite ninja in any game, Shadow, who would what was the text to describe him when you first meet him, when you get to name him? You like technically the recruitment message, but you don't actually get him to join the party till later. I think it's something about him being willing to slit his mother for a nickel or something like that. And so those 2 team up, then they travel south. They have a wild ride, and they also have the longest journey. They end up going through an imperial camp. A lot of stuff happens there. We meet the main villain of the game. I think for the first time, I think Kefka. And he ends up, he's the second in command there. The first in command gets called back to their headquarters, and Kefka ends up being in charge. And Leo was who was in command before, General Leo, and he was like a good person, right? Even though he was on the wrong side of wrong side of history. He was still a good person. He still had a code, right? And so he was going to invade this place called Doma Castle, right? And Doma Castle, it was like one of the last places that the Empire hadn't captured yet. And he was just trying to figure out a strategy to take the castle without costing his little life on both sides as possible. Well, he ends up getting called back by the Emperor. Kefka winds up in charge, and Kefka just poisons the river. And everybody dies. Everybody inside of Doma, whether it's Doma Castle residents or actually Imperial soldiers. He just doesn't care. He just kills everybody. He just poisons the water and they all die. People are like falling off the walls in the castle and stuff. So we see that here. And then we meet our next character, Cyan, who would have been Cyan would have been awesome if he was in COTC too. He's one of my favorite characters. He's definitely like the Ulbrich of this game, where he's like by far the oldest dude, by far the oldest character in the game. He's a samurai, and like gameplay wise, he's had his challenges over the years. Originally, back in the 90s, he was maybe like easily one of the worst characters in the game, but over the years they've buffed him and they've made him better, to the point where now he's not too bad. And so I actually try to use him when I can. So then they head through the camp there. Cyan goes on a rampage because included in all of the people that died to Kefka poisoning the water in Doma Castle was his wife and his little boy son, and his little son, probably like 5 or 6 years old. And so he flies into an absolute rampage and tries to 1v the entire Imperial camp, basically. And we end up running into him with Sabin and Shadow and helping him out, and then we all end up escaping. This brings us to one of the most iconic gaming moments in video game history, I think. Even if you've not played Final Fantasy VI, you've probably seen memes of Sabin suplexing the Phantom Train, right? Running across the screen away to the left from the Phantom Train chasing after our characters, and then Sabin just picks the train up and dumpsters it, right? He suplexes the train. If you haven't seen it, we should probably watch it, because it is, I think it's got to be like one of the most iconic video game moments, right? Final Fantasy VI. Sabin suplex train, see? Right there. Okay, so yeah, we've obviously got a lot. Let's see, how close is this? 44 seconds? Sure, send it. I don't know if you guys are going to get audio. Yeah, you guys aren't getting audio. It doesn't matter. All you need... We're only here for one thing, right? Just do it. There he goes. Donked on. Suplex the train. Bye-bye, Phantom Train. Okay, so that's pretty cool. But the whole concept behind the Phantom Train is that this train ushers people who have just died to the land of the dead. And so like when we're there with Sabin and Cyan and maybe Shadow, if you decided to bring them along, you don't have to, but at the very least Sabin and Cyan, as you're leaving after you defeat the Phantom Train by suplexing the crap out of it, Cyan sees his family boarding the train. It's a Q Waterworks. Very, very emotional scene. Then they make their way to Barren Falls, and they jump off a waterfall, because why not? Again, we're just living our best JRPG life, where things that are not possible in our world are just possible, right? So we jump off of a waterfall, and we end up in this place called the Veld, and we meet a beast, a young boy who's like a beast child. He's wrapped in beast fur, and he talks like a beast. Like, look at this is his dialogue. Wow, wow, wow. Ooh, you strangers, go away. You scare animals. We meet Gao. I'm not gonna lie, Gao is like one of my favorite characters ever. Part of it is just because he's absolutely wild, and he's just hilarious. I mean, like, look at this, thou. He calls Cyan thou, Mr. Thou, because Cyan's like old and he talks proper and stuff. Like, he talks like old English or something, and so he says thou. Simmer down, sirs, and thou, O wild one, who might thou be? And Gao's like, thou, Mr. Thou. Cyan, you angry me. So we recruit him. He gets us his shiny thing, which turns out to be a scuba diving helmet, basically. So then we can get back in, we can get into a different river, into the Serpent Trench, and then we can make it back to Narsh, and then everybody's back to Narsh, and everybody meets up again. That ended up being a lot more storytelling than I intended. In case it's not obvious, like, I kind of love this game. It's kind of like how sometimes I get lost in COTC story tangents, right? Where we just kind of spiral out there. And it's towards the end of the first half when we meet Realm and her grandpa Strago. I don't know if we'll get references to Strago in her story or in the collab's second parts of the story. But yeah, when we get to where she's from, Thamasa, we end up recruiting both her and her grandpa, and he's like the black mage of the game. Like, he has enemies cast spells on him, and then he learns them and can use them. He's okay. I think overall she's better. She has some fun stuff that she can do. But okay, let's keep going. Maybe. Oh, that would have been nice if we got more, but that's okay. We did pretty good. What was that, like 30 or 40 pulls or something? Not too shabby, I don't think. And I think it's perfect that Terra greeted them all. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay, and like I said, Realm is pretty funny, so I'm guessing her. I can't remember if I did any work on her. Yoo-hoo! I'm Realm! My paintings are more lifelike than any you've ever seen! Don't mistake me for an innocent little girl. I come from a long line of mighty magi. Yeah, in the opening scene of the game, I don't know, I guess it's technically not a narrator, because there's no voicing of it, you know, because the game's from 1994. But basically the narrator tells us about 1,000 years ago there was a war, a huge war that changed the world forever, and it was called the War of the Magi. And the Magi were people who could use magic. And so she's pretty powerful because she's a descendant of the Magi. I'll just tag along for a little while. I'm sure Grandpa won't mind. Grandpa, like I mentioned, is Strago. Okay. Now, you know what? 50 pulls, let's go. That's hype as heck.